Assalamualaikum and hi. Thank you for joining this forum. I am Radhatu Binti Ahmad as the moderator for today's forum. So we have Miss Amira as panel 1, we have Miss Aina as the panel 2, and we also have Miss Izati and Miss Fatiha as panel 3 and 4. Without wasting our time, let's start our discussion. As we all know, COVID-19 is having an ever-growing impact on the global economy. So we are here today to discuss about what is response of Islamic finance service to the COVID-19 pandemic that may be different with conventional banks. So for our panel 1, Amira, will you please share the first word that comes to your mind when you think about Islamic finance financial system?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Amira binti Abdul Hamid. Okay, today we want to discuss about the response Islamic financial service to the COVID-19 pandemic. So as we know, during this day, many industry has been impacted in terms of their income and sales. So here, I just want to share about the value proposition of Islamic finance during this day. So before that, let's take a look about the how Islamic finance can contribute to restart the global economy and adjust to the new norm. So this implication revealed that COVID-19 has been resulted in unemployment, worsening the condition of million people, and many enterprise are lead to the bankruptcy. So what Islamic finance offer is very different in terms of the value proposition compared to the conventional financial. Islamic finance is not restricted to the Islamic bank or Takaful only, but others such as Zakat, Wakaf, and Sedekah. These institutions are main player in providing better option for the market to grow again. So compared to the conventional financial value proposition, is aimed to gain the customer and with a goal of profit maximization. But on the other hand, while Islamic finance business is not focused on the profit only, but it's more focused on bringing back the advantage to the client and which beneficial manner through partnership financing mechanism. Islamic finance are responsible contribute their help to people and all economic resulted from the pandemic, which aim to become a savior of the underprivileged and other who impacted by providing ethical financial service. So, value proposition of conventional finance is involve social economic benefit, but there will not be any help or any need of social responsible in investing. Opposite to the value proposition of Islamic finance, which firmly follow in the Maqasid Sharia, traditionally involve the ethical investing and the green business. In general, under Islamic finance, Islamic Muamalat established a formal institution such as Zakat Bank. These are is to focus on minimizing economic resources and help inequality as well as strengthening social safety net. This has allowed Islamic financial institutions to contribute to the post COVID-19 period and achieve the Maqasid Sharia while helping release sustainable development goal of country. So this is the uh, my opinion for this topic.
Thank you, Amira. Such a great sharing. Yeah, so let's take a look at operation and structure of this financial system. While it is known that COVID-19 pandemic will have implication across all financial markets, the effects on the Islamic finance market have the potential to be more severe and create deeper impact. This is mainly due to the fact that the current crisis is affecting small and medium enterprise. In comparison to conventional banking, Islamic finance has much larger exposure to SMEs, microfinance, and also retail lending, which exposing them to a greater risk of client default or increased claims. However, Islamic finance have proven to be resilient due to the nature of its offering and instruments. Islamic banks were able to demonstrate this resiliency in surviving in the 2008 global financial crisis with a minimal impact. The main reason Islamic financial institutions weren't affected to the same degree as conventional bank is that Islamic banks provide interest-free service and prohibit executing unethical high-risk transaction. In the operation of Islamic financial system, it has to be consistent with the principles of Sharia, where Islamic financial institutions are not allowed to do certain things such as receive interest, any transaction that lead to Gara and Maisir, or are also buy and sell illegal products such as alcohol and pork. While in the conventional finance-based derivatives products such as options, futures, and forward contracts come under Gara and are prohibited under Sharia law. In addition, all cash flows are attached to real assets in the economy. This means that it's very difficult to create unsustainable levels of debt, as can be seen with conventional banking, where debt can be created without much of a limit. Islamic finance is an interest-free system that is responsible, ethical, sustainable, and shock preserving, thus positioning it well to be part of the COVID-19 response. In April 2020, the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) highlighted several Sharia-compliant financing instruments that could be a part of integrated pandemic response.
I would like to add my points on this topic, which is the fourth stage of economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. So before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nur Aina Yasmin. I'm the second panel in this forum. So epidemiologists across the globe are still figuring out the different stages of COVID-19 pandemic, while the economists are estimating the associated economic impact if it is going to have at each stage. So the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic is classified into four stages. So I will go through each stages. So the first one is Stage 1, business and economic damage. So as the COVID-19 breaks out in the country, the first thing it does is disrupt the demand and supply. At this stage, large and stable economies like USA, Russia, and China, and a few other countries are able to cope with the economic loss. During this stage, the national governments take actions to control pandemic through lockdowns and restrictions of movements. Hereafter, the problem worsen and people start panicking as supply chains are disrupted. So the second stage is financial contagion. So this stage follows the disruption of economic activity and many economists experienced this stage at in middle March or early April 2020. So this stage is characterized by sharp downward movement in equity and crypto markets, forced leveraging and panic selling. Panic selling. This stage is evidenced by the fact that liquidity starts to fall and markets for new funds starts to freeze and central banks are forced to inject liquidity. So this stage is actually dangerous for small companies and households with low liquidities and income and also larger debt obligations. So the next stage is stage 3, which is bottom formation. So this is the most critical stage as far as the economic impact of this pandemic is concerned. Some countries like Italy, Iran, India, and the United Kingdom went through this stage during May 2020. So the actual cause for the bottom formation needs to be addressed, and the economies should try to look for a long-term sustainable solution for to overcome this crisis. So the last stage will be post-COVID-19 effects. The scar that the virus has put into countries is going to live on us. The virus will be there for a long period of time, and will leave consequences to the countries. So there are expectations that the world will not be the same after the COVID-19 as the companies will start to factor in the risk of global supply chain and will look for a greater efficiency. So that's all from me.
Well said. Thank you for your explanation. So now we can understand that how this financial system operate with their own structure. So let's move to the instrument offered by different financial institution and market in the IFS. Can you share something about this? Our panel 3, Nur Izati.
Thank you to Royatul Shuhada. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Then I would like to discuss on the areas of instrument offered by Islamic financial institution. Before that, let me introduce myself first. My name is Nur Izati binti Muhammad Norwi. So there are four examples of product or services that are offered by Islamic financial institution based on the Sharia principle. The first one is Ijara. Ijara simply means leasing or renting. During COVID-19 pandemic, Ijara is very helpful. This is because since many sectors of economy have temporarily ceased operation, millions of people become unemployed and have high debt commitment. So the government worked together with banks to provide deferment of payments to citizens by issuing moratorium. In general, a moratorium is a form of legally valid authorization for a debtor to defer payment or financing within a specific period. These deferrals are to individual and business borrowers such as housing, purchase loan, vehicle, working capital, and personal loan. It gives customers 6 months deferment if installment for higher purchase and fixed rate Islamic financial automatically. So based on the statement made by Association of Bank in Malaysia recently, double interest will be charged on conventional financing, especially involving higher purchase financing as well as financing with fixed rate interest compared to Islamic financing. They do not have any additional charge due to Sharia compliance. Second instrument is by Qad Al Hasan Services. It is one of the most beautiful financing tools available in Islamic finance. In COVID-19 situation, the most affected are poor individuals and SME. This is parallel when Islam emphasized to make brotherhood among Muslims. The main principle of brotherhood is to care and share each other. So Qad Al Hasan build a gratuitous loan can help the fellow people who need money. For example, in my opinion, is Bank Rakyat. They provide a loan with card concept. This is because some Islamic bank give interest-free loan only to investment account with them, or some extend them to all bank client, or some restrict them to needy student and others economically weaker section of society, and some provide interest-free loan to producer, farmer, and entrepreneur who cannot get finance from other sources. Thus, in comparison, conventional bank will charge higher interest rate on loan, while the Islamic banking institution prohibit usurious activities. So that's all from my point. Thank you.
A very good sharing from our panel, Nur Izati. Thank you very much. Do you want to add some more points for our panel for Siti Nur Fatiha?
Thank you, Rodiatul. Yes, I will continue to discuss about the third instrument offered by Islamic financial institution. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Siti Nur Fatiha binti Kamarudin. So the third instrument is Arahnu product. Arahnu being said as Islamic pawnbroking short term collateralized. As we can see during the COVID-19 phase, the whole world, there is a lot of unpredictable scenarios happen. Economic downturn is one of it. Affected by the downturn, many people suffer from financial problems. Because of that, many people start to pawn their gold as to get money for survive. According to the current situation, Bank Rakyat take the opportunity to launch the campaign a month to kilo in order to aim growth up to 20% of Arahnu loan disbursements. So Arahnu is free from riba and goro elements. That's why it will be helpful for lending to people during COVID-19. So how Arahnu works during COVID-19? Actually, it is still same as before, which is borrower only need to pay for principal and additional of safekeeping fees as agreed during the tenure. It also used the Sharia concept, which is wadi ayat damana, qada hasan, ujara, and for the transaction. So according to the Bank Rakyat, Arahnu will help to reduce the customer short-term cash flow problems. During the movement control order, we can see a lot of people start using Arahnu services to support their financial needs because the fixed storage fees by Arahnu make the customer can really enjoy the longer term without penalties being issued to them, and the lower services charge has gained their attention to invest compared in conventional bank. Thus, it shows that Arahnu is one of the option to support people financial needs during COVID-19. And the last instrument is Musyarakah. Musyarakah is one of the most popular Islamic financial service used by Islamic financial institution and bank to give financing for individual and organization. It refers to two or more person coming together to contribute capital to the business and sharing profit and loss according to the agreed terms and condition. So Musyarakah can be very powerful Islamic financial service and have a potential to be one of the most effective tools against the economic consequences of COVID-19 for expanding welfare and alleviating the poverty. This pandemic COVID-19 has caused many loss and damages. So the financial aspect has started analyzing that the most affected goes to poor individual and also SME. So because of that, many Islamic financial institution and banking institution find their ways to give hand to help these parties to survive during this pandemic. So for instance, Islamic bank can enter the musyarakah contract with the poor individual and SMEs by sharing the risk and contributing their capital. In addition, musyarakah also provide a return for individual and SME based on actual profit earned by the joint venture compared to conventional that provide fixed rate of return. So in my opinion, I think during this COVID-19, people must make a good decision to survive by enter into any contract such as the four instrument that we shared before, like musyarakah, ijara, and others that can help them to survive by getting money or capital during COVID-19. So that's all from me.
Thank you, Siti Nur Fatiha. So from this discussion, we can conclude that Islamic financial system respond positive to this pandemic because Islamic finance believe in wealth distribution where they provide financing for poor people, entrepreneur and others and in need survive during this pandemic. In contrast to conventional finance where they also help people but still also burden them where interest is still charged in the public. So I think that's all for our discussion today. Thank you for attending this forum.